Imagine giving your all to a marriage, only to be betrayed, thrown out, and replaced by your own housemaid. But what happens when karma comes knocking? Watch till the end to see the shocking twist. Will you forgive if this happened to you? Comment below. Ada's heart was racing as she stood in front of the mirror, adjusting the lace of her white wedding gown. Today was the beginning of the rest of her life with the man she loved, Daniel. From the moment she met him, she had believed he was everything she had ever prayed for. He was charming, educated, and from a well-to-do family. He had promised her love, protection, and happiness. But deep inside, Ada felt a small knot of fear twisting in her stomach. It wasn't because of Daniel, it was because of his mother, Mama Daniel. The woman had never liked her. She is not from our tribe, she had complained the first day she met Ada. And she is too quiet. We need a strong woman in this family, not some weakling. Daniel had assured Ada that his mother would grow to love her with time. Just be patient, he whispered, squeezing her hand. So, Ada ignored her worries and married him, believing that love would conquer all. She had no idea that she was stepping into the worst nightmare of her life. From the very first night Ada entered her new home, Mama Daniel made it clear that she was unwelcome. You should wake up before dawn to start the house chores, she instructed the next morning. In this house, we don't tolerate laziness. Ada was confused. She had thought that, as a newlywed, she and Daniel would have time to enjoy their new life together. But instead, she found herself being treated like a servant. Whenever she made food, Mama Daniel would complain. Is this how you were cooking for your parents? She sneered one afternoon. No wonder you are so slim, your cooking is tasteless. Daniel never defended her. He would sigh and say, Mama, please, but that was the end of it. The pressure became worse when a few months passed, and Ada had not conceived. The whispers began. When will we hear the cry of a baby in this house? An aunt asked one day. Or maybe God has closed her womb, another relative said in a hushed tone. At first, Ada ignored them. She and Daniel were still young. They had time. But by the second year, the insults became direct. You are useless, Mama Daniel spat one evening during dinner. 2 years, and not even a miscarriage. What kind of woman are you? Ada's hands trembled as she picked at her food. Mama, please, it's God that gives children. Mama Daniel slammed her hand on the table. Then why is God not giving you one? Maybe because he knows you are cursed. Daniel said nothing. He simply stared at his plate, pretending he didn't hear. That night, Ada lay awake, crying silently. She had done everything, visited the best hospitals, attended every prayer program, even drank some herbal remedies given to her by relatives. But nothing. And soon, her nightmare worsened. One morning, Ada woke up to find Mama Daniel in her room, staring at her coldly. Pack your things, she said. Ada sat up in confusion. Mama, why? Mama Daniel folded her arms. Amaka is pregnant. She is carrying Daniel's child. Ada's heart stopped. She blinked, thinking she had misheard. What did you say? Just then, Amaka, their housemaid, walked into the room, her hands resting on her slightly swollen belly. Good morning, Ada, she said with a smirk. Ada turned to Daniel, who had just entered the room. Daniel, she whispered, her voice shaking. Tell me this is a lie. Daniel lowered his gaze. And that was all the answer Ada needed. The room spun around her. Amaka, the maid she had treated like a younger sister, had been sleeping with her husband. And now, she was the one carrying his child. The betrayal cut so deep that Ada could hardly breathe. Mama Daniel's voice was full of triumph. Since you cannot give us a child, we have found someone who can. You are no longer needed here. Ada's entire world shattered in that moment. She turned to Daniel one last time, desperate for him to say something, to fight for her. But he just muttered, It's better this way, Ada. Please don't make this difficult. With her heart bleeding, she packed her things and walked out of the house she had once called home. Her marriage, her dreams, were over. Ada wandered the streets in a daze. She had nowhere to go. Her parents had passed away years ago, and her only sibling lived abroad. She spent the first night in a cheap hotel, crying into her pillow until her throat ached. The next few weeks were the hardest of her life. She had no job, no savings, and no home. But Ada was not a woman who gave up. She used the little money she had left to buy African fabrics and started selling them by the roadside. At first, she barely made any profit. But she refused to give up. Day by day, she worked harder. Month by month, her small stall became more popular. And soon, her brand, Ada's Touch of Elegance, was born. She rented a shop, then expanded into a full-fledged fashion business. She had lost everything, but she was building herself back up. And then one day, she met Michael. Michael was different from Daniel in every way. Where Daniel had been distant, Michael was warm. Where Daniel had betrayed her, Michael protected her. "I see a queen when I look at you," he told her one evening. Ada smiled. "I don't feel like one." Michael took her hands. "Then let me help you remember who you are." Slowly, Ada's heart healed. Then, one morning, she woke up feeling dizzy. A visit to the hospital confirmed her greatest miracle. She was pregnant. 9 months later, she held twin boys, Emeka and Chibuzo, in her arms. For the first time in years, she was truly, completely happy. Meanwhile, back in Daniel's house, things had fallen apart. Amaka's pregnancy had been a lie. The child wasn't Daniel's, it belonged to her secret boyfriend. And then, the ultimate truth was revealed. Daniel was infertile all along. The same man who had called Ada barren could never father a child. Broken and humiliated, Daniel and his family came crawling back to Ada. "Ada, please," Mama Daniel begged. "We were wrong. Forgive us." Ada looked at them, then at her beautiful home, her successful business, and her loving husband. She smiled. "I have forgiven you, but I will never come back." And as she shut the gate, she felt peace. She had won. What a powerful lesson. Life has a way of turning things around, and in the end, justice always prevails. What do you think about this story? Should Ada have forgiven them? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like this video if you believe karma never fails. Share this story to inspire others. Subscribe now for more emotional and life-changing stories. Don't miss out. Turn on notifications so you never miss a powerful story like this. This is Booming Stories.